Welcome back to Takacs-McGinnis Elder Care News Hour. Today we're talking about retirement, and specifically in this segment we're going to talk about how to manage it, how to plan for it, and how to pay for care. I'm your host, Barbara McGinnis.
And I'm your host, Tim Takacs, and today with us is Phyllis Shelton. Phyllis is the president of LTCi Consultants, a Nashville-based company that she founded in 1991. Right?
Right.
Specializes
Historic.
Specializes in long-term care insurance, sales training, and also you founded LTCi, a company based completely on consumer education.
That's right.
And it's really about the topic of long-term care. We know that we have clients, we have people that come to us and thinking that the retirement years were going to be golden, but they turn out to be bronze. Maybe when in their 60s, one of them develops, maybe a couple, that one of them develops a chronic illness, and then now what do they do?
Right.
So we have 10,000 people turning age 65 every day. So what percentage of them do you think, and maybe you know, are prepared for long-term care needs?
We know that less than 10% have even considered a solid plan.
That's shocking.
It's shocking. It's shocking. And I like to cut through the denial by just saying, if you walk through your neighborhood and you ask everybody, how many of you have had your house burned to the ground? Not many people are going to say yes, right?
Right.
But if you knock on every door and you say, do you know someone who is needing extended health care beyond 3 months, just helping with their bathing, dressing, moving from point A to point B, or maybe they have a cognitive impairment, how many yeses do you think you'd get then?
Probably 100%.
Oh, it's rampant, and the denial is so thick. And I've been in this business, as you noted. Actually, I started as an agent in 1988, and then started my consulting firm in '91 because of the lack of education. And people to this day, 30 years out, still are scared of this topic because they see it as nursing home insurance. And less than 15% of the people that need this kind of care wind up in a nursing home. Most of the care is at home.
At home.
Or now these country club assisted living facilities that are beautiful. They cook for you, clean for you, do your laundry. There's no yard work.
Well, how much does care like that cost?
You know, right here in Tennessee, this nice assisted living facility would be about maybe $5,800 a month, something like that. But you got to roll it out now. 20, 30 years from now, it's say 5% compound inflation. We're looking at $25,000 a month.
Oh my!
Now, good news: home care is growing about half as much. So, if the way I'm looking at it, if you can fund that country club assisted living facility with insurance, and then it's going to pay for a lot of home care, Then, if you do need nursing home care as a last resort, and I mean a last resort, use your savings to pay the difference so you can be a private pay patient. Or if you have this magic thing called a Tennessee Long-Term Care Partnership Policy, you could actually fall back on Medicaid, not care, but K, and protect your assets equal to the benefits paid out. No limit. That policy might have paid out $1 million.
Wow.
Because if you don't have something like that, today a couple has to spend down to about $122,000. It's half of the assets up to that amount. Single individual has to spend down to $2,000.
Right. So if they have a long-term care partnership policy, as I understand it, if the policy pays out $500,000, then they're able to protect $500,000.
Plus whatever Medicaid lets them keep at that time.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's no limit, whatever it's paid out.
So what kind of problems or what kind of health problems do people have when they need long-term care? I mean, we know some of the obvious ones, like maybe Alzheimer's disease, which is fairly, I think most people, but are there others?
And this is where, this is not just for when we're 80, right? Our neighbor passed away a couple of years ago. She was fine at 50. She died at 55. She had the worst kind of ALS. or it could be a brain tumor for somebody in their 30s.
Yeah.
Okay? And when people say, oh, I'm too young to think about that, I say, can you guarantee me that you will not be hit by a drunk driver in the next 24 hours? Because if you can't guarantee me that, you're not too young. If you're over 18, you're not too young. We had a 23-year-old enroll in one of our group companies buying it, and I said, it's wonderful that you're here in the consultation, but why are you here? You know what she said? I never want to be a burden to my parents.
Oh.
Because if you're in an accident, you break both legs and your hip, I mean, Superman, 44 years old,
Right.
you know,
Right.
and you could be paralyzed forever, or maybe you just need help 6, 7, 8 months and get well. That's still a long-term care insurance claim.
We're talking to Phyllis Shelton about paying for long-term care, and Phyllis, we have a lot of clients, and maybe you have a lot of customers or people that say, well, why isn't Medicare paying for any of this?
There's no money. First off, if all you have is dementia, Medicare's not going to pay anything.
Right.
Nothing covers that. You know.
Right.
But if you have that accident, stroke, something like, and you'd be surprised at the number of young people who have strokes. I think that's stress, whatever. But you would get either health insurance or Medicare. They behave very similar. Go to the hospital. They don't want you there. They put you in a rehab center. That's considered a skilled nursing facility.
Right.
So Medicare, health insurance will pay for that. Maybe a few weeks of home care visits, like 1 hour each, nothing major.
Yeah.
So you're looking at about a 3-month time span. After that, you're on your own.
You're on your own.
You're using insurance, you're using your own money. A couple retiring with $500,000 at age 65, I just looked at that. Today's cost, one of them needing care, that $500,000 won't even last 4 years.
Wow.
Okay? In my opinion, this is the number one reason why people outlive their savings, and they need to plan. And hey, if they never need care, great. They didn't have that brain tumor or Alzheimer's. Let's hooray.
Right.
But if they do need care, oh, and you don't know who's blessed? The family members.
Yes.
That's who's blessed, because
Right.
they have resources.
Because a lot of times care falls to the family then, because you were talking about the limits basically of all these different
Yeah.
insurance, Medicare, and then
Somebody gives up life.
absolutely no
Somebody-
care is free. That's what we say all the
Exactly.
No care is free.
So is it ever too late to buy long-term care insurance? I mean, obviously, I assume that if I'm already in a nursing home or if I have Alzheimer's disease, I can't get it?
Actually, the insurance now goes up to age 79. There are special annuities to age 85. But you can even get what's called a medically underwritten annuity, and the sicker you are, the better. So if you want to generate, say, $5,000 a month, it would take a lot less money to make that happen than with a regular annuity. So there are still some options for people.
Okay, so wait a minute. Now, so this doesn't sound to us like regular insurance.
It's not.
Where it's not like you're buying I mean, you can't buy homeowners insurance when your house is on fire.
Right, right.
But so there are different products and services that
Yes.
that beyond just the traditional long-term care insurance.
There are. The one I'm talking about, the medical underwriting, leverages your own money. If you don't have insurance, it takes a lot less of your own money to pay for your own care with that deal, and that goes up to age 99. But just for people of any age, there's the traditional product that works like health insurance. You pay your premiums. If you have a claim, though, the premium stops, and then it's a use it or lose it type deal. Then there are people who say, well, I want to leave money to somebody. So now we can combine long-term care coverage with either life insurance. The healthier people can do that. Then there's less underwriting on an annuity combination, all right? So some people can do that. And we can still put inflation, which is so great on these products. And then if they don't need care, somebody can get a death benefit for the life policy or an annuity account value for the annuity. Or maybe we do a little bit with traditional, and then we do the combo product, because on the combo product, the premiums are guaranteed. They'll never go up. And, you know, what you see is what you get. And some of those will even pay cash, so you can pay your neighbor.
So that's not your mother's long-term care insurance, is it?
No, it's not. It's not. Or buy a service dog. One lady bought a service dog, and she was able to stay home, and she had that cash benefit, and she was able to stay home because she had a wonderful service. I'm a lab lover, so I can appreciate that.
All of that is so interesting. Where can people go to get more information? And tell us about your books, Phyllis.
My book, yes. My last big book is very personal. There's lots of personal stories and pictures and all that. of my four-legged children, so you don't want to miss that.
Yeah.
You can go to my consumer site. It's called gotltci.com, like got milk. Okay,
Yeah.
y'all need to think about this.
Got-
gotltci.com, and you will see not only my big book, which is called Protecting Your Family with Long-Term Care Insurance, and it's like big print and third-grade vocabulary.
There we go. We're looking at it right now.
Oh, yay. And then I have this little Cliff Notes thing, and it's the ABCs of long-term care insurance. So if you
There we
want a
go.
Cliff Notes, read it in an hour, you can actually get a combination of those two on my website. And I use a lot of personal stories. You'll cry a little bit, a little funny story every now and then. But I just want people to plan. That's the main thing. And what I want to say one more thing.
Okay.
When I got started, people were like, "Oh, I don't need that insurance. My kids will take care of me." Well, that was 1988. Today, 2017, I hear from the kids. I hear from all over the country. They took care of those parents.
Right.
But the sacrifices were horrible. They got a divorce, they gave up a career, da-da-da-da-da. And now they're saying, I say, "Why are you calling me? What do you want?" We don't ever want our kids to go through that.
Face again.
The kindest thing you can do for your family is plan for long-term care so you have resources and it doesn't fall on them.
Phyllis, thank you so much for being here today. We really enjoyed this, but it is time for us to go to break. When we come back from break, we'll shift gears and talk about special needs planning. We'll be right back.